All right, what's up, guys? Today's date is January 27th, 2023, and today we are going to get into the 2023 NFC AFC recap and, of course, our predictions. Today on the show, I've got Jericho Green, Mr. Franklin from the Franklin Crocker Show, and Alec Finch. And we're going to have a good time today, guys. Shout out to all the watchers, all the listeners. If you have not already, make sure you smash that like, that thumbs up, and, of course, subscribe to the channel. Click the bell to be notified of all future streams and content moving forward. All right.
Yeah.
Where do we get started? Where do we talk about these Bills first, or do we talk about the Cowboys first? Which
Let's
I
start
think
with the Bills, man. Let's tear that Band-Aid off right now.
let's tear the Band-Aid off. We're gonna tear it off. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. I am going to be one that's gonna blame everything on Ken Dorsey and Leslie Frazier. All right. Wow. I'm going to blame everything on them. I don't care who says what, who's going to be mad at me for it. The reality is this: when you have someone who doesn't change the play calling when they see things are going on, you have the definition of insanity. That is exactly what that is. All right. Let's start off with the defense. When you have a team that is allowing other teams to run up the middle on every game, every week, and you don't make changes, well, guess what? You're going to have people running up the middle every week, hundreds of yards. You're not going to stop it. Hey, we see it open. We're going to take advantage of it, and that's what every team did. And I seen that with it was the Green Bay game. When the Bills played the Packers, it was really tough and really unfortunate because of the run game. And I was like, you know what? We need to make the changes that we need to, and we didn't do it. Then we get into the Jets. Jets did the same thing as far as the run game. Getting into the offense, one of the biggest problems that we've seen with Josh Allen's accuracy. He was hiding an elbow injury. Nobody knew that. They knew he was injured. They're like, "Oh, we'll get over it," just like with the Mahomes situation. Let him get out there. Let him play. Well, what did he do? He went in the press conference and he used that as the excuse as far as why we lost in the AFC divisionals. So I'm highly aggravated. I'm highly pissed off about it. I think there's going to be a lot of changes that are needed between the offense, the defense, and the coaching staff. And I'm not taking off my hat. I know people have been talking the most about my hat. It's not coming off.
It's fire, man.
I'm not a bandwagoner. It's Bills Mafia forever, no matter what. Sure. And I'm not going to say we'll see what happens next year, but there's going to be next year.
For sure.
Well, I took my hat off. As you can see, I have my hat on today. And let me get on these Bills real fast. Now, I did my podcast the other day, and I talked about the Bills and the same things I said before. I'm not number one with Stefan Diggs on the sideline getting upset, animated at Josh Allen. I want that. I love that. We talked about this last week, gentlemen. You have, in my opinion, you have the guy that's getting the bag and the guy that wants to win the championship. Stefan Diggs, to me, proved he wants to win the championship. He's just not about the bag. So he went ape shit on Josh Allen. I need that kind of energy. I don't want somebody who's going to be complacent and just, I'll pass. Oh, we have it next year. Well, no, I need it now. I need that energy now. And everybody's pissed off at Stefan. Hey, too bad. I love his energy. Give him an unlimited contract for that energy just alone, period. We need that. You already said it. Dorsey, Frazier, got to go. Now, the problem is this, though. I want to play devil's advocate. Similar to some commercials. When you take that pill, sometimes what happens? It says side effects may include nausea, headache, anal leakage. I don't want a wet butt. So therefore, I don't know. So I know they need to go, but when they go, we had a season. Our season could flip-flop. It could go from, what were we, 13-3, 14-3? It can flip-flop the other way. That's that fast because the new guy that comes in wants to bring his own coaching staff in. He has his own system. He wants to bring his own players in. So it could flip-flop. So, again, I'm playing devil's advocate. I think they need to go, but we got to be very cautious of who we get next to replace them. Because if we replace them with something less, we may not even make it to the playoffs. So Bills.
And you know what, I agree with that because at the end of the day, what Brian Dable was able to do with Josh Allen before he took off showed that, right? And then obviously he leaves, and now he's up for coach of the year, right? Was it coach of the year? It
Yep.
was one of those. Yeah. Coach of the year with the Giants. So that just goes to show like how beneficial Dable was to the team. You know, he was an asset. So then you bring in somebody who obviously becomes a liability by not making the changes that they need to midseason, but by not making the adjustments that they need to on time, not being able to I guess have the backbone to make the decisions. And for me, if you're in a spot where you can get pissed off and throw your headset and break it, right, because you lost the game, then you probably need to make the changes so that next game you don't do that. And the game after that, you don't do that. But like I said before, bringing on Hines, I think, was a mistake. We were fine with Zach Moss and Singletary in the back with Josh Allen running as well. We were fine with the play calling and the schemes that they had before Hines came. When that happened, it changed the chemistry by adding Cook in there. Singletary wasn't running as much. Stefan Diggs wasn't catching the slant. I mean, he wasn't catching as many passes as we had seen. He maybe had one or two catches, I think, for one game after Hines came, and I was like, "What the hell's going on? This is crazy." Well, it goes back to, like I said, Stefan Diggs being paid millions of dollars to be a professional athlete. I do expect him to have, emotion, right? I did get mad as well. I think every Bills fan got mad, but at the same time, I do get it. I did say that I would expect a little bit more professionalism, but hey, walk off the field, go to the locker room, have the conversation you got to have, go sit in your Lamborghini and yell at the top of your voice. I'm just keeping it real. I gotta keep it real for a minute.
We're down to earth now.
Yell at the top of your voice. Get it out. But yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I almost flipped it out. It almost came out, guys. You got me at that 10 right now. I'm at a solid 9.5. I almost hit 10.
Oh,
but
man.
that's just the reality of it, guys. And I do apologize if I hurt anybody's ears, but that's to let you guys know I'm a real fan and not one of these bandwagoners out here. All right. Next up, let's get into the Cowboys, and I'll let you go. Alec.
Ooh, Cowboys. Okay. So my Cowboys, they lost. All right. But there is some silver lining. Silver lining is the defense is exactly what we thought the Cowboys defense was. They locked down the 49ers. It was up to the offense to close this game out. And the offense is exactly what we thought it was. They can't close games out. Zeke, Tony Pollard got injured, and once Tony Pollard got injured, what could we have done? They locked CeeDee Lamb. CeeDee Lamb played a great game. Tony Pollard played a great game. He got injured. Zeke, that was the final straw. He has to go. I don't care if he'll take a pay cut. He hurts us more than he helps us. Dak, it's been 7 years, and that's as much as he's produced for us. It would be such a loss of investment, but I think we've seen everything we need to see from Dak. 49ers played a better game. They just mistake-free football. That's what it comes down to. Zach, turnovers. He did not read the field. He doesn't read the defense. I was looking at Ryan Clark and just some of the analysts this week, kind of dissecting the plays. And there goes T.Y. Hilton wide open, would have been a touchdown, but he threw to CeeDee Lamb in tight coverage. So it's just the mistakes, situational football. He doesn't read the defense. He doesn't make the best decisions to put them in the best position to win. So therefore Cowboys lost, but what I saw from the defense was impressive. But that's all I have to say on that. I mean, Oh,
Let's look at this.
oh, rest in peace.
Let's talk about it. Let's
I mean, if you're looking at that picture, Dak won regardless.
no,
They
following
split.
this game, reports came out that Mr. Dak Prescott and his girlfriend broke up.
Oh man, can you blame her?
She
She
said,
saw those interceptions too. She said,
said-
nobody who plays like that gets a hold of this.
she said, "You're
Take
never
one
gonna get
last
us a
look.
ring."
Get one last look, Dak. Playing like that, you don't get to play with this. Is it my turn now? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
This is so bad because I feel like this goes to show, guys, you could, you can have it all, and one bad game,
Yep.
and it's all snatched away. You lose all your fans, you lose your girl. Pay attention. Dak Prescott is a case study. Pay attention.
That old man who bet the $2 million must have been her grandpa or something.
Ooh, Mr. Mattress.
Yeah, he was like, let him go. But grandpa let him go. Is this on? Is this on straight? Good.
It is.
I want to read a quote. I like to read quotes from people smarter than me because it makes me seem smart too.
Okay.
This quote is from Sir Alec Finch, and it says, "You're done." Now, if you remember last week, before we started, he held up a notebook into the camera and told me, "You're done." That's what he said. So, how the tables have turned. Well, it looks to me like them girls are done. And you know what? The 12, 13-year-old Jericho Green, because, that was back in the early 90s when the Cowboys and Niners, boom, back and forth, NFC Championship game. The 12, 13-year-old Jericho Green is loving it because it's a beautiful thing to have the Dallas Cowboys season ended at the hands of the 49ers 2 years in a row. And can they do it? Can the Niners go to Jerry's house and beat him? Did it. Don't even ask if we can do it at home. That's not even a question. Did that too. Now, I thought the score was going to be higher. I thought I picked 38-17. And maybe that was a little bit of the Niner fan in me that got that score up so high. I admit that. My frosted side got power over my wheat side. That's okay. But the bottom line is, I told you them girls were not going to come to the Bay Area and do nothing because everybody, I don't blame you, Sir Alec Finch. A lot of people got mixed up in that. Dallas, the Star, Dak, Tony Pollard, they picked up T.Y. Hilton. Look what he did for the Colts. T.Y. Hilton was tight, man. He was another, Pierre Garçon or Rodney Harrison. Mm-hmm. Was that his name? Not Rodney Harrison, but you know what I'm talking about, number 88.
Pierre Garçon was nice, though. He was nice.
Yeah, he was nice. But he was another dependable, throw it up there, that guy is going to catch it. So, boy, the Cowboys are loaded. CeeDee Lamb, as you saw, the Cowboys took a page out of the Chiefs book. Who did Pat Mahomes throw to 14, 15 times? Travis Kelce. Mm-hmm. Who was Dak Prescott throwing to at least 10 times? CeeDee Lamb. He got comfortable. He zoned in on CD because he couldn't trust the other guys. And the moment was too big for him. You see those interceptions? Man, what the hell was that? And Greenlaw could have had two more. He dropped 2 interceptions. One could have been a pick 6. We could have been looking at 4 interceptions for Dak Prescott. If you are anywhere near that, you are not beating the 49ers. Not this 49ers. Maybe the Blaine Gabbert 5 years ago Niners, but today, that's not going to cut it. And the Cowboys proved it. And was I nervous throughout the game because it was so tight? Yes. But was there ever a point where I thought, man, we're going to lose? No. Not even after that touchdown to whoever their tight end is. Schultz, that was fine. I never thought, man, we're out of it. They're going to stack these points. They're going to create some separation and it's over. Never. And one great thing about the 49ers is, like you said, Jay, the Bills didn't adjust. One thing the Niners do great is they have halftime adjustments. Mm-hmm. A team could come out doing one thing, throwing all over them. There ain't nobody running on them. But whatever, they're doing something well. But after that halftime, the Niners usually come out and clamp down, and that's what they did, man. And they got a touchdown. CMC up the middle. So in the divisional round, you're going to let Christian McCaffrey's a smaller back. He's not huge, around 200 pounds or so. You're going to let a guy of his size run up the middle? That says something, man. That was a dagger in their heart. That was it. Somebody had to go over to Dak and get a tissue paper right here because remember the Indian in the commercial where the dude threw the trash out the window and he just had that one little drop come down? That was Dak.
So I want to say Cowboys credit. The defense held McCaffrey to 35 yards.
They did.
Yeah, we locked him down.
They did.
He did have one touchdown, but they held him to 35 yards, and he was coming off of a 120-yard game. So the Cowboys did their job on the defense. I think it was just they failed. They failed when it came to the offense.
Well, I think that catch over the middle for Kittle, I think that's a situation where the Cowboys dropped the ball because he could have blew George Kittle up. As soon as he caught that ball, whatever defensive back that was should have blew George Kittle apart with that ball.
Oh yeah,
but he didn't. And Kittle, tip, little drama for you, catch it. Yep. There we go. And then that crowd got behind him. Man,
yeah, that's that hype. That hype factor. Yeah, that's that hype factor.
Yeah, man. No,
especially when you have plays like that. It reminds me of when I forgot what year it was, but it was a very significant game. And remember, Julian Edelman, he caught that ball that he hit with his leg.
Oh yeah.
It hit his leg, and then he went down and he grabbed it, and it was the craziest catch we'd ever seen. There's always those kind of catches in those games where it changes the whole dynamic, and it just swings at that moment, and it's normally in favor of the team, obviously, that makes that kind of catch. And that's what happened when Kittle caught that ball. You could feel it. It was a change instantly, and it was definitely a great.
Beautiful.
I mean, I think the whole Cowboys season can be described as when it matters the most, they didn't make the plays. They held Christian McCaffrey to 35 yards, but when it mattered the most, they couldn't get him out of the touchdown. It's one of those things where they have to make plays, and I don't even want to talk about that last play.
What the hell was that? What the hell was that?
As a Cowboys fan, I was just embarrassed on what was happening. Why'd you put Zeke in the center?
Yo, he got blown up.
Absolutely blown up. It was terrible.
I saw a meme where he got pushed back, and then the meme was pushing him around the country. Every scene he was getting pushed across California, he was getting pushed across New York, and then Jimmy Ward came in and blew up whoever caught. Was that CeeDee Lamb who caught the ball? Whoever caught the ball, Jimmy Ward committed a felony on his torso. That was beautiful, man. And I'm not. My face is on fire. I am not trash talking CMC. I'm just stating facts. He's not a Derrick Henry. He's not a big back. He's a smaller back, and he still went up the middle. And I'm not talking about him. I'm more talking about the Cowboys defense who was supposed to stop him because this is the toughest defense. Brock Purdy, and all those things are true. But when the clock hit 0, the 49ers have more points than the Cowboys did. So I would say that's a failure by the entire Cowboys team. And the only thing that could be a cherry on top of this Dallas Sunday is Jerry Jones. Oh, when they stick a microphone in front of Jerry Jones after a loss, it's beautiful because he doesn't want to say it. He knows what we're all thinking. He knows. Dak needs to go.
He knows.
Zeke needs to go, but he has to play the corporate role. Well, in the offseason, we'll take a look and blah, blah, blah. I can't wait. And they're going to do something else. They're going to bring in this star, and they're going to bring in that star. And this is going to be it. This is going to be the Cowboys year. They're going to get Jerry a ring before the Grim Reaper comes for him. Nope.
Yeah. I feel like it's so funny because Jerry Jones has become obviously this. He's like a meme for the Cowboys now, right? When they can't use Dak, they use Jerry Jones, and it's sad because you got to blame the team for this. He has to point the finger at his team, right? Because it goes from the top down, not the bottom up, right? So he's got to point the finger at his team and figure out, who he needs to get rid of. I'll be honest. I think they figure out some things with Dak because Dak maybe not it. You're probably going to see a lot more of Cooper Rush next year. I'm going to see a lot more
Mm.
Cooper Rush next year.
But I think they could have gotten to Cooper Rush without spending the money on Dak. Like, it sucks when you spend money on something like the Niners. They all those draft picks, all that money and stuff for Trey Lance, just to end up with your third string quarterback because he got hurt. I'm sure if you told the Niners, hey, you could save these draft picks and go with the guy that you got for free, they would have done that. But hey, lesson learned. We'll keep Brock. He's doing great. He's going to get us a ring. So bye, Trey.
Oh man.
All right, so let's go ahead and get into these NFC AFC predictions. Obviously, the first game on Sunday. We will be streaming both games here on Sunday on J Reason, so make sure you guys lock in and subscribe if you have not already. First game, it's going to be 3 o'clock. Sunday, it's going to be the 49ers and the Eagles. Second game will be the Bengals and the Chiefs. This is going to get crazy. It's going to get crazy for a couple of reasons. The Eagles probably have the most complete team in the NFL right now. They have the most complete team on offense and defense right now. I feel like they may be the biggest threat, to be honest, out of all the teams. Now, that's not to say that 49ers can't win this thing because they definitely are capable and they can do it. But you get once again, you got to make the adjustments to get to Jalen Hurts. If you stop Jalen Hurts, then obviously they can't move the ball, and 49ers may take this thing. But that offensive line for those Eagles, it's going to be hard to break through that wall. Jalen is a way better of a running quarterback than Dak Prescott, so you're going to have an issue there. It's going to be tough to basically make him have turnovers by throwing interceptions and stuff like that as well. So it's going to be a long day if the 49ers don't make the proper adjustments. I do think they will. But before I get into the score predictions, we'll let Franklin talk about these Eagles and these 49ers.
Well, again, mine is going to be very short here. I think the San Francisco 49ers are going to win this one. However, I don't think it's going to be an easy one. Again, it's going to come down to Brock Purdy, in my opinion. I don't think Brock has ever seen a defense like this before. I believe the Eagles have the number one in sacks this year as a team. I believe it was over 70. Yeah. So Brock is going to see some things that he's never seen before. He's better be ready for this defense because they're going to come at him full speed. They may blitz almost every down and make him uncomfortable. And this is going to show his poise. If Brock Purdy can handle this the way he's been handling other games, this and again, I'm being very optimistic here, but he could be the next Tom Brady.
Ooh, man, what a take!
If he can handle this game very well, this could be the start of his season, his year, his career as the next Tom Brady. Now, granted, he's doing this. I mean, this is his rookie year. Tom didn't do it his rookie year. So he got a little extra jump start here. We're doing this, and they got all the pieces around him. I would imagine San Fran is not getting rid of any of their special pieces. They're going to pay whoever they have to pay, and then in addition to that, bring in some new pieces to help them out with as well. My opinion, I think San Francisco wins this one, but it's going to be a very great. I think it's going to be almost a Super Bowl. I'd rather see this be the Super Bowl than the Super Bowl, to be honest with you. My opinion.
All right, what do you think, Alec?
All right. Eagles, 49ers. So last week, Brock Purdy, he got sacked, he got pressured. They weren't used to like a good defense like the Cowboys. Eagles, I would say it's probably a step up for aggressiveness, for sacks. So, a lot of the same things will happen. He's going to get sacked, he's going to get pressured, his rhythm's going to be off. We're going to see if he keeps poise. He does seem, whenever he got pressured last week, he did seem like he kept his poise, and he'd either check it down or like go deep or like just read the field and read who was open, and if nothing was open, just throw it out. So Brock Purdy's good. I think at the beginning of this whole thing, I had doubts on he's inexperienced and whatnot, but I think I've kind of changed my mind that he is a good quarterback. He deserves to be where he is. It's really going to come down. It's going to be a close game. I'm going to say the winner is going to win. I'm going to say by a score, though. I'm going to say the winner's going to win by a score. But, I was thinking this whole week, I was like, who has the edge? Jalen Hurts or Brock Purdy? They played in college. I know that that's an argument, but those were two different rosters.
But it's very important to bring up the fact that Brock Purdy had less in that college game, and I think they only lost by a point. I think it was that close. I think it was like 41-42 or something like that. So this may be payback for Mr. Brock Purdy.
It's going to be who wants it more. There's going to be a lot of heart, a lot of passion. Obviously, the 49ers are visiting the Eagles, so it's going to be loud. They just can't get it in their head. But I think, I think the momentum that the 49ers are going into this game, I really think there's no way they lose, because without Jalen Hurts, those first few games, I mean, they almost lost the number 1 seed because he was gone, and Gardner Minshew they weren't playing their best ball. And people were like, oh, wait, the 49ers could actually get the number 1 seed. Hold up. So momentum-wise, confidence-wise, Purdy, he's confident. Like you can't tell that he's like, if he's nervous or he has nerves. He's very chill. So because really, what does he have to lose? I mean, he was a third-string quarterback. I mean, no one expected him to do anything. He's Mr. Irrelevant. So really, all he has to do is just play his best ball, do what is asked of him. And I mean, if the 49ers make the dumb decision to not start him next year, there's going to be like 31 teams that would want him on their roster. So, I mean, I think that the 49ers have the edge coming in, and that they win by, score. We'll see.
Okay.
Here he is.
Boy, it's hard for you to give the Niners that win, huh, Alec? You're like,
biting my tongue.
I get it. But here's my impression of Brock Purdy. Hey, Brock, smile. I am smiling. Brock, get me angry. I am angry. That's Brock Purdy. He's just, okay, no, football, yeah, no problem. He's not feeling the pressure of the moment. I really don't think he is. Every time you see him talk, he's like, hey, this is cool, man. I'm just happy to be here. And I wish people would drop that Mr. Irrelevant crap, because he's done things that seasoned veterans haven't done in their career. And I was while you gentlemen were talking, I was perusing the interweb, and I got a hold of the Eagles schedule. And I heard some people, I think Sir Alec Finch last week said that the Niners had a weak schedule. But I'm looking at the Eagles schedule, and man, that looks weak. Like wine cooler week. You could drink like 12 wine coolers, not even be buzzed. You can drive home.
Not that you're making me happy.
We got the Lions, who proved to be something this year, but going into the season, nobody respected the Lions. Vikings, and then they got their division, the Commanders, them girls. They got the Steelers in there, the Texans. Ooh, the Texans. The Colts. Titans, so the Packers. So they got a bunch of losing record teams on their resume, and steel sharpens steel. So, but the Philly hasn't run up against too much steel. And last week, the Giants are the 49ers. You can't throw that game out, throw that high score out. That means nothing. That's like you going onto a little kid's playground and be like, oh, I beat him in basketball. Damn, dude, you're tight. Look at who you were playing. The Niners are going to beat the Eagles. The last time the Niners played the Eagles with Jalen Hurts, by the way, they lost, and he got sacked multiple times. Again, the 49ers halftime adjustments. Are they going to come out crazy? It's always crazy. Look at a boxing match. They always come out swinging crazy in the first round or so. That's how it is. You're excited. It's been pumped up. But when the smoke settles and the Niners get adjusted and they make their adjustments, it's a wrap. Like Alec mentioned, they were going to get the number 1 seed, and then Jalen Hurts goes down, and Gardner Minshew's in there. So where was that big, bad defense then? Why couldn't their defense choke the other team out so much that a Gardner Minshew could win? If you have this suffocating defense, these big boys in the middle, and these DBs, and the best they've ever seen, why could they not make it so Gardner Minshew could win? Gardner can give you 1 or 2 touchdowns, right? You guys, they should have been some 14-3, some 17-7 stuff. Their defense should have showed up. They did not. And here's going to be the death knell for the Eagles. It already happened. It already happened before the game. Their head coach got in front of a live camera that was working, and he said that Jalen Hurts is. I wrote this down. Let me gaze at my notes real quick. He said that Jalen Hurts is Michael Jordan on the field. What is the biggest killer? What's the biggest killer? Expectations. So you just went out there. The head coach, he's like, I know I shouldn't say this. He was all excited. He probably still had his little pink lipstick out. You know when a dog gets excited? He was probably still riding that wave. He didn't know what he was saying. But he said that Jalen Hurts was Michael Jordan on the field. Uh-oh.
So here's a quick fact. Which team has lost the most NFC Championship games?
Is it one of these two, or it could be anybody?
Says while San Francisco can tie the record for the most wins, it can also extend its lead with the most losses in NFC Championship game history. The 49ers have lost the game 10 times, with their most recent defeat coming last postseason in Los Angeles.
Mm-hmm.
So
I remember that.
That was a tough one. That was a tough one.
It was terrible.
But what I will say is this: I feel like they didn't have Brock Purdy. That was the X factor. That
or
was the X
CMC
factor.
didn't have CMC
Right?
either.
Didn't have
and
CMC.
Brandon Ayuk was slipping. He wasn't who he is today either.
Yeah,
so.
Brandon Ayuk wasn't playing at an elite level like he is now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things, like you said earlier, is Brock Purdy's poise, his focus. He's gaining a level of confidence that you don't see in much rookies. He's not making mistakes. Well, he's not making many mistakes out there. The biggest thing for me, I think, in this game is it's really going to be on Jalen Hurts and the Eagles being at home. The pressure is going to be at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
If the nerves can get to Hurts before they get to Purdy, that's where you're going to see the biggest difference, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if you see Hurts throwing a pick. I wouldn't be surprised if you see a bunch of incomplete passes, him being rushed, him being hurried.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these are the things that play the most into these specific moments. These big games bring out the dog, right? And if you don't have the dog, if you don't have that focus, if you're not poised, especially at home, well, we've seen what happened to the Bills, right? So I gotta go 49ers by a field goal.
That sounds good, man.
I think the only way the Eagles win, and I'm not even sugarcoating it, I think the only way the Eagles win is by constantly getting Purdy on the ground to not make a play. Because I think whenever Purdy is just untouched, he's going to make a play. He's going to either check it down or find an open receiver. So it's just the defense has to show out, get him on the ground.
I've been listening to some commentators, and they say, the Eagles, they come out and put up 3 scores on the Niners. Man, they do this, they do that. Man, they're gonna win this game. So that's it. It's that easy. You're just gonna come out, throw 3 touchdowns to your receivers, and just put these Niners away because they ain't been nothing up until this year. No, that's not gonna happen. The Niners are gonna all of a sudden fall apart, and that's a great point you made, Jay. Is the pressure on Jalen Hurts. I mean, everybody, everywhere you go, this man can't go to the grocery store. He can't go anywhere. Hurts, hey, man, Sunday, you the man. You're going to get him. Hey, hey, man, look at you. 13 and whatever they were, 14, 15, 16 and 1, whatever it was, or 13 and 3 because Minshew messed it up.
Yeah, 13.
Hey, guys, Philly, bring us another trophy. Hey, you're better than Nick Foles, man. All the way up until the moment he steps on the field. When he comes out there, the fans, everybody's telling Jalen, you got this. You're the man. You guys got this. Your defense. And everybody's telling Brock, hey, man, just do your best. That's it, man. There's a lot of pressure on them legs, man. A lot of pressure. And Jalen Hurts will throw interceptions, man. He will. And you talk about somebody being in his lap. There's a play last week where Nick Bosa, I think it was the play that the tight end scored. He comes off the field and he takes his helmet off, and he is so mad. He wanted to slam that helmet on the ground so bad. You think he's going to make that mistake again? You think this is lost on Nick Bosa or any of them? This is it, man. They know what's up. Like you said, Franklin, this is their Super Bowl. Yeah. That defense is going to be on Jalen Hurts' ass like white on rice, a glass of milk, a paper plate, and a snowstorm. And will it be a dominant win? I don't know, but I'll take a win, a dub. I don't care if it's by a point, 3, 7. It don't matter. The Eagles go down. this weekend.
Ooh.
Man, I feel like he just dropped the most famous wrestling promo. That was awesome.
Brother.
I'm hyped now.
Should have got some elbow drops in there.
Yeah.
I gotta find that Ric Flair meme.
Oh, dude, Ric Flair's the man. My brother used to flare chop me when we wrestle. That stuff hurts.
I gotta find it right now, just for that.
The jet flying, wheeling and dealing, Rolex wearing.
No,
it's true, man. The Eagles, yeah, y'all been having a good time with some weak competition, the best competition, and not only is it the best competition the Niners have seen, maybe, but it's definitely the best competition that the Eagles have seen, for sure. So, good luck.
Here's a question. Oh no, you go, Franklin.
Let's real quick. Somebody just brought up a thing on the chat. I forgot it passed by now, but 4 players with over 11 plus sacks apiece. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of pressure.
Hey, if the 4 of us lined up against a bunch of 5th graders, we probably have 11 sacks apiece too. Dude, those numbers are fluffed and puffed, man. It's against weaker competition. Look at their division. To what people say, 3 members of the NFC East were in their division. Were in the playoffs. That's because half of their games are against their weak division. The Eagles were by far the best, but look at them. The Commanders, they beat the Packers. The Packers didn't even make it. Aaron Rodgers, my hind parts. I don't hear none of that. Eagles ain't played nobody all year, so it's going to be a rude awakening. Just like, speaking of wrestling, just like the finishing move of Ravishing Rick Rude, it's about to be a rude awakening.
Shout out! I found the meme. Shout out to Ric Flair. But I think one of the big things too that people were bringing up was the fact of how the fans are. The fans are in Philly. So this was the meme from Ric Flair that I wanted to find.
It's about making it out of that building in one piece. It's not about winning or losing. It's about making it out of that building in one piece.
And that is a shame. That is a shame. That's what they're already focusing on. Well, we can't beat them on the field, but we'll definitely beat them on the way to the bus. Man, Philly, you are atrocious.
Listen, you know it's gonna get bad if the Eagles do lose. It's gonna get tough to get out that
That's
stadium.
fine.
Somebody's
Hey,
probably
players,
gonna get knocked out in those seats. It's gonna be some fights. We already know. I can't wait to make memes out of it.
That's so sad.
And that stadium is well known for that jail they have inside that stadium.
Yeah.
But you know what? The Niners are used to playing Raider fans. Before the Raiders left to LA or Vegas or wherever they've been banished to now, it used to be the Battle of the Bay when they were in Oakland. There's nobody worse. There's no worse human being on this planet than a Raider fan. I don't care what Philly thinks about it. The Raider fans are horrible. So the Niners are ready for it, man. They're ready to get the batteries thrown at them and all that silly stuff. But you know what the difference is? The Niners are going to get on a temperature-controlled bus. They're going to drive to a temperature-controlled plane, and they're going to be happy. They're going to be running up and down the aisles. And the Philly fans are going to go home and cry. All right? They're going to cry. I don't want to tuck you in tonight, son. All right? It's all good. Philly, they know what's coming, man. That's why they're already hedging their bets with the violence.
Shout out to Spain. Let me address some of these chats. I'm not ignoring you guys. We've just been having such a great conversation. Shout out to Jeremy Peck, says LMAO, Raiders Nation for life.
Be careful.
What's up, 357? What's going on with you, yo? Who else we got? What's up, Brian? Shout out to Brian.
Raiders,
Jesse James in the building. His face is fire. Says, all right, now that we've made predictions, let's break out the lean. I don't drink lean, sir. Drug free. Drug free. Puck says,
now that that's out of the way, let's do some heroin. Jeez. Dude, he jumped in the deep end.
Shout out to Puck says, offense wins games, defense wins championships, Chiefs versus Eagles. Wow. All right.
How? How are you just going to sweep the Niners aside with the #1 defense?
We haven't even got it to the Bengals and the Chiefs yet.
Oh,
we haven't even got there yet. We're still on these 49ers and Eagles.
Hey, Jeremy Pat, a dub is a dub is a dub. Thank you.
Facts.
And the Niners won by 7 points, not just a field goal.
So Keith from over at Facebook says, "Man, y'all crazy. Eagles by 20. Miners do not. Miners do not travel well. Have y'all looked at their
20?
20 is crazy. 20 is crazy.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That guy has a Philadelphia Eagles tattoo. He has it.
He said, "Have y'all looked at their East Coast games the last 2 years? We just pulled up the season's schedule, and
I'm looking at this year.
yeah, looking at this year, man. It's I'm not gonna say it's been completely smooth sailing, but they dealt with about 2-foot waves on a nice long surfboard, So what's going on with you,
12,
Robert?
12
Shout out
straight,
to you,
too. 12 straight. That's
Shout out to
pretty good.
Keith, first time listening. Thanks a lot, man. Thanks a lot.
Welcome.
Thanks for being here.
Welcome, Keith.
Welcome.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, it's always a fun time here, and we love everybody coming out with their opinions.
He
And
said by
it's all
20.
fun. He said by 20 though. He said by 20. He took a mean jab. That was
Keith,
worse
check your
than,
temperature, man.
Bro's definitely got some money on that game and is sweating.
Check your
I hope
temperature.
it's not $2 million.
It came out of nowhere. That jab came out of nowhere, like Mike Tyson getting sued for $5 million this week.
Yeah, I talked about that story too. Come on now.
I did it yesterday. I actually did it yesterday. It was tough.
Yeah.
I said this. Obviously, I don't condone any kind of violence towards anybody. But at the same time, if somebody does something to you, you need to report it immediately. It needs to be handled immediately.
Yep.
Why are we waiting 30? I'm gonna tell you right now. If someone attacks me, I'm gonna handle it right then and there.
Yep.
All right.
Yes, sir.
I'm not gonna wait 30 years. I'm not gonna be
30
just sitting
years.
there one day and you know what? I need some money today. What can I do? Come on.
That's horrible, man. If like you said, man, and if somebody does that, if someone perpetrates that kind of crime against somebody, hey, let's spin the wheel. Let's spin the wheel of medieval torture that they deserve. They deserve the worst of the worst. Drawn and quartered, put them on the rack, all that good stuff. But I think if you level a false accusation and all you're trying to do is get paid or destroy somebody's career, then you need to suffer that same punishment. I think
100%.
that'll keep everybody honest.
Yeah.
I think
I agree.
honest, and that'll keep people from it's not going to stop everything, but it'll definitely keep a lot of people from doing those kind of things, and it'll definitely keep a lot of people from reporting false accusations like that. So yeah, man, that was a trip.
Yeah. Well, shout out to Ryan. He says, what you doing if an Eagle fan rocks you, Jay? Well, Eagles fans don't travel where I travel, so I'll be fine.
Yeah.
I'm good. I don't have to worry about stuff like that because they don't be where I be. They don't eat what I eat. And we don't have the same circle, so I'm good. I don't got to worry about Eagles fans.
I'm everywhere. You ain't never there, so why should I?
Right? I'm everywhere. You ain't never there.
I'm the best ever. I'm around here.
Hey, you know what? I think the greatest quote for the Eagles, I think the greatest supporter of the Eagles is John Fetterman. He's the new senator of Pennsylvania, and he said it best. He said, "The Eagles are so much better than the Eagles." So there you go, Eagles. He has your back.
Oh, man.
And that's a direct quote.
That's hilarious. All right. So next up, we got these Bengals and these Chiefs. Now, this is really wild. And actually, I apologize, guys, because I didn't pull up the actual spread. This is very important stuff for the bettors out there. Yeah. Let me go ahead and get that up before we move on. And here we go. All right. So the spread for the Eagles and the 49ers, 2.5.
Yeah.
In favor of the Eagles. Over under is 46.
Under.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be
nice if
there.
it was over in the Niners' favor, but yeah, it'd probably be under.
Yeah,
You know what, man? I don't know. Even before it got to this point, I never believed in the Eagles. I know they have that record. I know Jalen Hurts. He's awesome. He throws and he runs. But I just never believed in the Eagles, man. I think they get rolled this weekend. We'll get to our final scores, I'm sure. But
yeah.
I think
they're favored by 2.5. The Eagles are favored by 2.5. Over under is 46. Here's an interesting stat. Now, obviously, this is tough because it's just a sample of the playoffs. But points per game, San Francisco's averaging 26.5. Eagles are averaging 28.1. Eagles are allowing 7, and 49ers are allowing 17.5. Like I said, you can take it with, as a sample, but total yards are 377 versus the Eagles 404. Yards allowed 253 for the Eagles versus 319. Completely different teams. So, like I said, just take that with a grain of salt as far as sample wise. But those are the current numbers in the playoffs. Two different teams between the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Giants, though. So, like I said, I'm going to go points wise. I think it's going to be a low scoring game. I'm going to go. I have to go like 18, 14, 49ers.
Ooh, damn.
I'll probably go. I'm probably going to go 21 to 28.
Okay.
49ers.
That was a tough one for you, Alec. It was
Yeah,
hard for him. It was hard for him to get that one out.
Those words burned. They burned your mouth saying that.
Hit his chest like tequila.
Oh, man.
Hard tequila.
I'm going 24 to 13 here. 24-13 San Francisco.
Ooh. I'm going 26-17 Niners, of course. I think the Eagles, they'll get 2 quick touchdowns. They're at home, they're pumped, the crowd, but I think it's going to quiet down, and the score is going to indicate a closer game than it really was. 26-17, bang bang Niner gang.
All right, cool. Let's go ahead and get into these Bengals and these Chiefs. You got a banged up Pat Mahomes, who's a shooing for the MVP. You've got Joe Burrow, who has found a way to come back and get through the issues that he had with that offensive line and beat the dog crap out of my Bills. 4,475 yards, 35 touchdowns, 12 interceptions for Joe Burrow. Pat Mahomes, 5,250 yards, 41 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. On the rushing side, Mixon with 814 yards, 7 touchdowns. Pacheco with 830 yards, 5 touchdowns. Receiving, Jamar Chase, 1,046 yards, 9 touchdowns. And Travis Kelce with 1,338 yards, 12 touchdowns. The spread, 1-point spread. Chiefs are favored. Over and under by 40. I'm sorry, over and under is 47.5. This is a 1-point spread. This is as tight as you get.
I see Sheila says she wants Mahomes to be 100%, so there won't be any excuses. And what issues with the Bengals offensive line? Because I thought too, last week when we were talking, I thought, man, with those dudes out, it's going to be a problem. And it didn't seem to be. So I don't see it being a problem again this week. I say go Bengals, man. I think the Bengals are gonna whoop them. And it sucks, man, that they didn't that the Bills didn't handle their business. They didn't make their adjustments. But the Bengals all day, man. The Bengals are going to take it to the Chiefs. The fact that Mahomes has an injured ankle, hey, tough titty, said the kitty. You're a pro player. Get your butt out here. I don't want to hear it. If you're suited up, you are 100%. So I'm just looking forward to seeing Pat Mahomes run for his life like he did in the Super Bowl against the Bucks. And I'm hoping that Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase just have a connection like you've never seen, a connection that would make Chuck Woolery blush. Right? Those dudes are going to be playing catch. That's what I want to see. I want to see the Chiefs destroyed by the Bengals. I hate the Chiefs. And most of all, what I don't want to see is Pat Mahomes' dumbass brother celebrate.
Oh, that's well. I will say this though. I think the thing that since we're talking about family, at least Pat Mahomes' girl didn't leave him.
No, I think it's his wife. It'd be a little more complicated for her to leave.
Well, I mean, these days it's not hard for them to leave either. It's not hard. It's not hard.
Damn, dude, his girl left him. Oh, that's so funny.
That's so tragic.
Talking up deuces.
So we'll let you go next, Franklin.
Yeah, so in this game here, I'm going to backtrack a little bit to the Bills and Cincinnati game. Jericho, you brought up the offensive line for Cincinnati. They were missing 3 starters, and they still crushed us. 3 starters. They were missing 3 offensive starters, and we couldn't get any pressure on these dudes. So I say that to say this. I think they're not going to be in trouble. And people are going to hate me after this. I am a Bills fan. However, I think Joe Burrows may be better than Josh Allen in this particular case.
Whoa.
Burrows is very composed in that pocket. He's a pocket quarterback. I respect the pocket quarterback because his longevity is going to be there. I know Jay over here like, yo, what's this dude doing? Is he dog?
Whoa.
I'm trying to find the reasoning behind this.
Joe Burrows looks good, man. He looked like a bacon egg sandwich. He looked good.
Dang.
He looked very good out there, man. And I respect his poise. I respect what his team did. And real talk, he did the exact same thing the first game before they delayed it. He came out and did the exact same thing to us off the first drive. The Bills should have never even gave them the ball. They should have started off getting the ball first. My opinion. Again, I'm a quarterback coach. I see Cincinnati winning this one, obviously because they're not 100% KC. Patrick Mahomes is not going to be able to do that spectacular dazzle that he normally does and get out the pocket and doing this and that. Not happening here. Chase, I see Chase doing the money dance. He's going to make it rain. Chase just going to make it rain out here on these boys. And I give Cincinnati the win here, man.
Something real quick that you mentioned. The Bengals, if that offensive line didn't give them pause and didn't cause them to lose, man, I don't think nothing will. And if the Bengals don't lock down Travis Kelce, they are fools.
Oh, yeah.
True.
Oh, yeah. This is 100%.
He can't catch 15 balls. If he catch 15, they win.
Listen, if they don't figure out Travis Kelce, just make sure you got the plane tickets ready because this game will be over as soon as it starts. That was the biggest problem with the Jaguars. Once again, a team not making the proper adjustments, figuring out that they need to stop this specific person who's catching 15, 20 passes for 10 yards, 15 yards, 20 yards, 17 yards. It's like you're seeing it happen, and they're not doing anything about it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's because they don't make the proper adjustments. So I can't. I mean, obviously, I'm not going to take your Bills card, Franklin. All right. I was trying to find the reasoning behind you said what you said, but there's a realization with any opinion, and this is the fact. Right now, it would go Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, and then Josh Allen. That's just the reality of it.
True. Now one thing before you one quick mention. Not only how bad did Josh Allen look, Joe Burrows looked so poised in the pocket. And that's what I want my quarterback to do. Josh Allen, that whole game, looked like he was scared to death, man. If you look at, I train salespeople for a living. You can look in somebody's eyes and see they're scared. Yeah. Josh looked scared that game, man. You know, like he was like, okay, those big moments, you're supposed to go out there like Burrow with the cigar, smoking his cigars. You're supposed to go out there with some confidence. There's a difference. Either you play the game to win or you play the game not to lose. Joe Burrows played the game to win. Josh Allen played the game not to lose. It's 2 different things, man. That's just my opinion.
So we've seen that, right? The biggest problem is when you're watching the game and you're looking at Josh Allen and you're expecting him to play at the elite level that he does, you start questioning, what's really going on. Because it goes back to what I said earlier in regards to even the Eagles, right? Jalen Hurts being at home, there's so much pressure. There was so much pressure this season for Josh Allen to get to the Super Bowl and win it that I think it piled up and he froze. He choked, and that's just the reality of it, right? He choked in the moment that you were supposed to rise to the occasion. That was supposed to make him the winner and become legendary in the eyes of everybody in the NFL. So I gotta for some reason, I'm thinking that we do see a Bengals 49ers Super Bowl, which would be absolutely crazy. I do see that. Pat Mahomes has taken the team that he has without Tyreek Hill, right? Everyone said, well, without Tyreek Hill, what is Patrick Mahomes going to do? Well, he did his job. That's what he did. He went out there and he figured it out, and that's why he's probably going to win MVP. So getting to the point of him with these Bengals, we're still going to see the Pat Mahomes that we're used to seeing, but I feel like this one may be the highest scoring game. I feel like this one may be the game where Joe Burrow steps up a little bit more than Pat. And if that defense can figure out Travis Kelce, you're going to see Pat Mahomes on the run a lot. And he's obviously dealing with that ankle. So, yeah, it's going to be tough. It's going to be a hard game. But for it to be a 1-point spread, I think the Bengals take it. I think the Bengals take it.
Yep. And, something real quick, Bengal Babe, she said that Juju Smith-Schuster is a non-factor. And that's a shame. He was a number one in Pittsburgh. He was a number one. And to be, obviously, he's a non-factor. Look how the lack of attention he got in the last game, the divisional round of the playoffs. So if the Bengals can stop that Kelsey-Mahomes connection, it's weird to say, but where else is he going to go? Is he just going to automatically develop this chemistry and trust with everybody else? Because from the outside looking in, it looks like their roster is pretty loaded and he shouldn't have a problem distributing the ball, but he certainly did last week. And his ankle might be all shot up, but he knows it's hurt. Whether he feels it or not, he knows in his subconscious it's hurt, and it's self-preservation. Your body's going to take over and say, no, I need to protect this. It's hurt. So that's going to be a real problem for Patrick.
Well, next up was Alex. Alec, how do you feel, man?
Absolutely. This might be a hot take, but Bengals play very solid. Joe Burrow plays the quarterback position very well. He makes great decisions. I think the Chiefs defense, kind of does way better than what the Bills did. I think the Chiefs will keep him in the game. Whether or not Patrick's performance is good or not, depending on his ankle, I won't be able to tell you. We won't know until we actually see it.
Yeah.
But I think throughout the whole game, I believe it should be one-score game, and I think Chiefs win by a field goal. I think that because going into the game, the Bengals have this standard. They believe they can win every game that they play, right? Mm-hmm. The Chiefs have lost to these guys 3 times, and it's one of those things where now the Chiefs kind of have something to prove. Can they beat Joe Burrow? Will they beat Joe Burrow? Not to mention, this gives you a trip to Arizona in the Super Bowl. So, a lot of pressure. Bengals, though, all they have to do is take care of business, and they should win. But I believe the Chiefs will get it done and will take care of Burrow.
So, just to bring up a quick fact, last year we streamed the Bengals Chiefs in the AFC Championship. Bengals won by 3.
Yep. And the Bengals are Chiefs killers.
Yeah.
When they beat them this weekend, it won't be their first time. I think it'll be like their 4th time beating them.
4th time.
They know about the Chiefs. They know about Mahomes. They know about Kelce and all that nonsense. Now just throwing a hurt Mahomes. And it makes it even easier for them. And again, if you're suited up, you're 100%, no excuses. Get out there and take that whooping.
True story.
For sure. I think it'll be I think Chiefs get it done though. I think we're due for a Chiefs win over the Bengals, right? Because at a certain point, do you think will Joe Burrow go his whole career without losing to Patrick Mahomes? That sounds kind of whimsical. Maybe this is the time where Mahomes takes care of business, or maybe anything is possible. You never know. You never know. You never know.
So wait a minute. We're gonna rewind on that one.
Mahomes goes down.
Here comes Chad Henne. But here's the thing, right? Chad Henne, he came out balling. Nobody really thought he would, right? Everybody thought he was just going to go out there and probably just blow it. But no, he came in there. He stepped up. He made some completions. He moved the ball. I think he even got a touchdown, right? So at the end of the day, I feel like if Pat Mahomes were not to play, Chad Henne could get it done. He could have his Nick Foles moment.
I have
right?
a question. I have a question for Sir Alec Finch.
Yes.
Weren't the Cowboys due last week? Weren't they due for a playoff victory to finally get past the second round? Wasn't it Dak's time?
Hey,
CD Lamb, they picked up T.Y. Hilton, and it was two running backs, a two-headed monster. Turned out to be a one-headed monster, and that one head was old and slow. So, it doesn't matter who's due unless somebody's pregnant. So they're not due for anything. They're going to lose. It's going to be a return to the 80s. Everything's retro now. I see all these young kids running around with high-waisted acid-wash jeans. It's all about retro. So we're going back to 1989. Niners, Bengals, Super Bowl.
Coming with the history facts, the history lesson.
Them Eagles aren't ready. Them Eagles have been playing around. They're going to get a real defense and a real offense in their face. And it's a wrap. Philly fans, prepare. Angry, get your batteries ready to throw. Get your excuses ready to explain to your son why your team just can't do it. And let's move on.
Shout out to Bengal Babe saying, and the Jags were too stupid to lock down Kelsey. Yeah, Bengal Babe, that's the truth. Shout out to Richard for the $5 super chat. Says Jay Reason predictions best in the business. Go Bengals. Thanks a lot, Richard. Shout out to you, man. Much love. Thanks for the support. Bob in Missouri says Henny did a 98-yard run and score with Travis touchdown. Yeah, that's what I said. If need be, right? If need be, if Mr. Mahomes goes down, Henny comes in, and he should be able to fill that void. But once again, this is the championship, right? Yeah. How many championships has Chad Henne played in? This is a way different level of pressure, especially at home. You have so much against you. So I know it's interesting to say two teams losing at home on a Sunday in a championship game, but I think that's what we're going to see.
It's going to happen. And the pressure is more on the Chiefs than the Bengals. Both great teams, both high-powered offenses, both good defenses. Maybe the edge goes to the Chiefs on that one. But, the pressure's on Mahomes because you're Mahomes. You're the greatest guy to ever throw a football. You run and throw it around people and sidearms and all this crazy stuff. So the pressure's on them. The Bengals should win, but the pressure's on the Chiefs. So the Bengals know what they got to do, and I think they will. And somebody in there said covering Travis Kelce is not a piece of cake. No, it's not. But damn, if you put two guys on him, it better get close to being easier. I mean, something.
I mean, if you put two people on Kelce and he's still catching the ball, then fire both of them.
Yeah,
because they're getting paid millions for a reason back there to stop plays.
Bruh.
So yeah, two people should be able to stop one man. Who was that picked up Kelce and slammed him down by the goal line? Who did that for San Diego? Who did that?
They were mad.
I forgot who it was. Who remembers that game? So I forgot it was.
He had three touchdowns in that game. They were pissed.
Yeah, it was like one of the defensive tackles picked Kelce, and Kelsey's a big boy, right?
Yeah.
Picked him up, slammed him on the ground. So that's to let you know, these guys can stop him. He is not.
Both Kelce boys are in the championship games this weekend. You got his brother, who's a O lineman for the Eagles too.
Yep.
Jason Kelce, I think is his name.
Man.
So both
Derwin James. Yep. Shout out to you, Bengal Baby. It was Derwin James. He slammed Kelce down, made him look like a rag doll out there. And
Travis Kelce's mom is going to be like, Travis, don't cry, honey. Hold on. Jason, you're crying too? What the hell happened? Yeah. Both the Kelce boys are going to be sad.
Yeah. I don't think it'll be easy for the Chiefs whatsoever. And it'll look easy for the Bengals. They know how to play football. They've beat these guys 3 times in a row. I don't think they're worried. They go into this game fully knowing that they can win. So it's up to the Bengals. They have to make the least amount of mistakes. Could come down to some, horrible ref calling. We've had that this season. There's just been some horrible officiating going on in some of these games.
If there's any kind of correlation to where this game could go, you're going to be able to blame the refs. There's going to be a lot of times where you get mad because you're going to see this ridiculous flag comes out. It happens every game, but specifically for these championship games, and I hate to throw in the tinfoil hat, but don't think that these refs didn't put their money somewhere, okay?
What do you guys think of going fully automated for refereeing? officiating.
Ooh.
I think they should really take some, notes from just like college. I feel like college officiating is so much better than the NFL, especially if it's like pass interference. They don't spot it at the foul. They just give you 15 yards, right? I mean, I feel like that's insane. Like if you go deep for like 70, well, hey, you've got a pass interference. You go 70 yards rather than just getting the 15, right? But yeah, it's like it's weird. Like if there's like a controversial call, sometimes New York says, "Hey, we gotta chill with that, all right?" But a lot of times they can't overturn it. So it's one of those things, I guess.
I think the question is this: Do we have the automated computing power? Do we have the AI that can analyze every player, every play, the entire field, and everything that happens from the cameras? Does the league have that capability? Because I'll tell you this, casinos are able to read your body language, your body heat. They know when you get excited for a real win, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the NFL has tons of money. They could go with artificial intelligence officiating. I'm sure like it's something that could take time to get there, but I think AI could rig it too. Right?
Oh, it could
think
be
about
rigged.
it. Yeah, it could be rigged probably more than what people think it is by using AI, because then you have somebody that's behind a computer that can just hit the keyboard and say, all right, it is what it is. I think with the human element of keeping it, that of the ref style with the human element, at least we would like to feel that there's a sense of fairness. Fairness
Yeah.
there.
I think it boils down to consistency. If you can keep it consistent, the downside with the automated version of it, in my opinion, every play there's a foul. It's what are you willing to call and what you're not willing to call. There's always going to be a hold on the offense and the defensive line. Always going to be a hold. It's like how egregious is that hold though? Because there's always going to be a penalty play. Same thing with you talked about. I see a lot of hand checking with receivers and DBs going on the field. It's how much. Again, if you want to call it one way, you got to call it each way for both sides. A lot of times, I think it's not called both ways, and that's the issue. Just call it both ways at the same time. You're gonna call, egregious calls. Call it for both teams. That's it.
I think it could be done. I think the technology exists. I remember watching the show, and it's some kind of food was being made, and they were scanning the food for imperfections, and it was going by like so fast you couldn't even tell what it was. But this computer was scanning it, and when it came across one with an imperfection, it would send a blast of air and blow it out of the rotation so it wouldn't be packaged and sent. So I think the technology exists, and I think people can be manipulated easier than computers, because like you said, Jay, somebody could sit there on the keyboard and put in whatever they want, but somebody could also pull up to referee so-and-so, hey, if you don't call this game this way, do your kids still go to this school? And whatever, you're talking organized crime or whatever, they can make that happen too. But I think if you really want the best of the best when it comes to computer technology or AI, you need to get whoever's making the sex dolls, because they got it figured out. Those things damn near look human. You get those perverts in there. They got the AI.
Put the AI robots on the field and they call it, huh? You know what? You might be on something. Actually, we should have mute that out, bro. We gotta get the patent for that, yo. Gotta patent that. You gotta be careful with the stuff you're saying right now.
Hey, why is that referee's mouth shaped like that? I don't want that robot out
here. As far as like the officiating goes, it feels like depending on who officiates the game, who's the head officiator, it feels like you're playing a different game each time, because like, well, this guy is known for not calling this, and this guy is known for being very strict on this. It feels like with each game, you don't know what kind of officiating you're going to get. I feel like the officiating is very inconsistent this season, mostly out of like previous seasons. Because it's like, on some games, it's like, well, last week they called the, roughing the passer, and the guy touched it. The quarterback got absolutely mauled, and they didn't call that. I was like, what's happening here? And I think, like, it goes into like if something happens with roughing the pass, like the Tua situation. Like the few games after that, man, they did not put up with anything with the quarterback. They called roughing the passer on everything. I was like, dang.
Yeah, for
So
sure. Yep.
I think
Well, and I
consistency is
feel like
key, really.
the human element to it too, right? Because let's say something crazy happens, right? The ref misses a flag, player gets in his face about it. Let's say it's like defensive pass interference, wide receiver gets in the ref's face. They keep it kind of respectful, but they have words. After that, you see a change in the emotion of the ref, right? Then you start seeing those flags come out everywhere, just like you said. So obviously having an AI would get rid of the emotional aspect of it, but it's like I think you'd have to have someone checking the people that are handling the AI behind the robots or whatever kind of AI they would have for it. It's a really interesting concept, and I think it should be brought about because there's so many issues with refs. No matter what, no matter what, no matter what game, whether it be NFL or NBA. I remember we did an NBA game and I was like, I don't understand why these specific plays are being fouls or being tech. Steph Curry threw his mouthpiece and he got ejected. He threw his mouth. He was like 20 feet away from the ref, and he threw his mouthpiece because he was mad about whatever Jordan Poole did, and he got ejected. So it's like, I think obviously the AI would have probably made that same decision, right? Because if they have a universal rule to this, it creates the narrative for everyone else. But they pick and choose. They pick and choose. Jimmy Butler says AI is dumb. I don't know. I think saying that is probably dumb, to be honest. But all right.
Okay, this might be a hot take, but do you want me to tell you what I think would fix the officiating? So you have all these referees on the field, right? I think we take out the their role on trying to call flags. Their main role is to just spot the ball, and then the main referee, he's the spokesperson for all the referees. All the officiating happens in a booth. We have like dozens of people, and they're only supposed to look at a few players, like position wise. That's their job. Just those players the whole game. And if there's a flag, then they can call a flag, send it down to the main official. Official says, all right, there's a flag right there. And then the guys on the field actually just spot the ball. So they have all the camera angles. They see it from above. They don't have to be on the field. They have all the camera angles. So I think it's fair because if there is a flag that's like, if there's like a penalty that's audible, they see it with all the camera angles and they know for sure. And then they send it down. But that's just me.
That's a good take.
And it can't take any longer than it does now. My goodness, man. Sometimes I'll be in that damn booth, that little hood thing looking at it. I'm like, man, come on. You've been in there for 5-10 minutes. This is ridiculous. That stuff, no. No matter what they do, it's got to be, even if they have people in the booth and they have to send messages down, that's going to be quicker than what the hell they're doing now. There's got to be better. If it were, I don't think there's any way that's going to be completely fair because there's humans involved. Yeah. Even if it was fully automated, some human is involved, either processing or inputting the information. So it's not going to be 100%, but having AI involved would take some of the emotion out of it. Like like you were saying, if a ref makes a bad call or what a receiver, a player perceives as a bad call, and they cuss him out, you can't help. You're not just going to, in 30 seconds, all right, short memory, I forgot he said that. No. What if during the week he was on Twitter saying, oh, watch out for this fool. Watch out for this ref. He's an A, B, and C. You're not going to forget that, and that's going to play a part. So any way we can remove the human element from it, I'm for it because emotions get involved. And yeah, like you said, who can rest? What, they got money on it. Yeah. It sounds like a movie, but what if they did get approached by somebody? You better call it this way or else. That stuff happens.
Well, it's not even a factor of it being just a thought or just an opinion. There's literally documentaries with like real NBA refs and real NFL refs from the past who have came out and said like those kind of situations have happened, or they've been involved where they would call a foul on Allen Iverson, right? because they needed him to get, this specific or limit the amount of points that he was going to get. There's all those kind of stories. There's one specific story that's on Netflix, or that was on Netflix. It was a documentary about an NBA ref who was calling fouls on certain players during certain games, and he was winning millions of dollars, millions, right? This one person. So that lets you know, like, the incentive that people could have when it comes to, how they can essentially rig a player or rig the game in itself. So it's definitely a conversation that needs to be had, and I'm glad we're having it because it may open up, open up the minds of some people. But shout out to Richard coming through with the anybody else notice Brady doesn't get the calls anymore. Yeah, I think that's something that we've noticed with the last 3-4 weeks in the season, right? He wasn't getting those flags. He was getting hit back there. He was starting to look old, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they've been kind of relaxed. They're like, hey, you gotta play ball. But I think that kind of shifted when he left the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
we'll
You
let
hate
you
to see it.
ponder on that one. Ponder on that one.
You hate to see the old lion, now out there getting pushed around by the young punks and, not getting that respect anymore. But this is a chance you take when you hang around that long.
Mm-hmm.
And he did bring a ring to Tampa Bay. So it's not like as soon as he left the Patriots, he fell apart. But, Uncle Time, Father Time. Yeah, you Uncle Time.
Uncle Tom.
You're Uncle Tom and an Uncle Time. Father Time. I don't know about Uncle Time, but Father Time.
Uncle Tom.
Father Time is undefeated. I think that's what it is. I tried to say undefeated before I said father, so it came out Uncle. Father Time's undefeated, even for the great Brady. And it sucks, man. We've heard people saying this day was coming, but I think it really is.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep.
All right. So, did we give? We got into like a whole topic about the refs, and we didn't even get to our
My bad.
Bengals
That was my
prediction.
fault.
No, it was a great conversation. I'm like, wait, we didn't give like point predictions yet. All right. So points predictions for Bengals and Chiefs. I know someone was out there like, can you guys hurry up and get us the point predictions? I'm trying to put in my parlay, guys. All right, we got you. It is a 1-point spread. Over under is 47.5. I think this is going to be a high scoring game. I think that over hits. Obviously, I'm going with the Bengals. I think the score will be 30-21 Bengals.
It's comfortable. I'm going to say even more, man. I think Mahomes' ankle is going to play a part. I think they will find out a way to take away Kelsey, and they can. Their teams do it all the time. If you got a weapon, we'll take that away. You beat us with somebody else. So I think the Bengals would rather be beat with Mahomes to somebody else. I don't think they have a running game to speak of. So I'm going to say 35-14 Bengals of Cincinnati.
The Bengals.
I'll keep it short and sweet. I think it'll be a 30-27 Chiefs.
Ooh.
Wow.
And last but definitely not least, I think I'm going with 31-21 Cincinnati.
You just want to beat me by a point, didn't you? You said 31. I'll say, or you said 30. I'll say 31. All right.
Yeah, 31-20.
All right. Well, there it is, guys. NFC, AFC Championship predictions. Obviously, we will be streaming that on Sunday, so make sure you guys lock it in. Obviously, we'll start a little early. We'll get the party going at 1 p.m., so make sure you guys subscribe. Click the bell to be notified of all future streams and content moving forward. Make sure you have smashed that thumbs up. I do want to thank everybody for spending time with us today. Shout out to the Wrench Gang. Shout out to the family. Much love to Jericho. Much love to Eric, Alec, and of course Franklin for coming through. If you are on the We Need Clarity channel, we're gonna drop some new content tonight. It's gonna be how much should you spend on a date for my people who need some advice and want to share their experiences. So make sure you subscribe to We Need Clarity if you have not already. Great channel, great discussions, life stuff, and we're just trying to bring the content that you guys want. You guys ask all these questions, so guess what? We're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna have fun with it. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to like I said, Jericho, Alec, and Franklin for coming through. And
Thank you again.
we'll see you guys on Sunday.
Sunday fun day.
Hey, and shout out to Alex tie game. I like that, man. I hate when people have a tie and the knot's too small and you can see the sides of the tie.
That's a
Drives
double
me
win
crazy.
right there.
Yeah,
Double
that's
win.
beautiful.
Is that clip on though? Is it a clip?
Hell no. Don't. Yeah.
Oh, look, I like how he moved it for him. He was like, "Let's see no clip. This is a real tie.
Damn.
I did it myself this morning. Let's go."
Every young man should know how to tie a tie. Great job. Yeah.
Shout
Double
out
wins, good
to
job.
Alec, man. He's going for Chris Collinsworth job, and I like it. He's
That's
going
what I'm
for
talking about. I got to do the slide in there whenever we get in.
All right, you guys. Thanks a lot. We'll see you soon, and you guys have a great day, great weekend.